Shelftastic Sports. I'm back. Shelftastic himself is here. And let's talk football. Let's talk what happened last night. Opening night of the Premier League 2022-2023 season. My boys, the Gunners. 2-0 against Palace at Selhurst Park. What did I say about the game? It was a tough game. It's always been a tough game. We only played Palace a few months ago and got absolutely hammered 3-0, in the race for the top four. And that was probably the start of the decline of the top four, to be fair. But if you go back and look at the results, that cost us to them lot across the road, Tottenham. But this was always a tough game. First game away. If you go prior back to last season when we played Brentford, it was just horrific. This pre-season was horrible. Obviously, the COVID issues. Half a squad had COVID. We did try to get the Premier League to move it on or let, but because it was the launch of the Premier League with having Brentford being the new promoted team with fans back in the stadium, they were never going to let that game get postponed and everything like that, like they did later on in the season when teams were getting games postponed because of COVID and stuff. So that was never going to happen. And obviously, ultimately, we was undercooked and we got smoked by Brentford. There's no two ways looking at it. So it is what it is. But this season, I haven't spoke anything about pre-season. So, excuse me. Apologies for that. I think for me, I don't read too much into pre-season. I was more talking about the signings we've made because those are more important for me. Pre-season, I know we beat Chelsea 4-0. We beat Seville 6-0 last week. Don't mean nothing really. Seville in La Liga don't start until a couple of weeks down the line, so their fitness is not even at the same level as ours, and don't read too much into that because you can do that 4-0 and lose 4-0 in your first game. What does it mean? Nothing. It's just fitness, building confidence, learning the manager's strategies and patterns of plays and stuff like that. Getting new signings integrated into the system, and welcoming. So I don't watch that too much. But anyway, with all of that said, I'm very happy that we one thing with Arsenal, definitely under Arteta, management of game is definitely improving over the time, and also there's the styles developing really well as well, and you could see that very evident in that game. And it was brilliant for the first half an hour. It was just like, whoa, what was this? This is the football great. Jesus his feet were outrageous. Some of the things he was doing with his feet was crazy. And that just adds different dimensions to our forward line that we didn't have. Don't get me wrong, I have love for Laka, I have love for Uber, but they don't do certain things. They don't chase the ball well. They don't have the individual thing to do by themselves. They almost need, like when I was watching Jesus today, he could literally go and press someone, win the ball, do a bit of magic with his feet, drift past a couple players, and then he opens spaces naturally for other people. Aubameyang needs someone to do that for him so he can play on the last shoulder. Lacazette doesn't have the speed. Sorry, the keys from Lacazette doesn't have the speed to be able to do that. So they it's like you're getting a half and half. You're getting a Aubameyang with the pace, but can't really get up someone. And then you've got Lacazette that's got the brilliant hold-up play, can play in, but you don't have the in between of a bit of both, where Jesus can actually back into players, and he can twist a man up, and he can actually have the pace to get in behind as well. And he's kind of got everything that they have, and a bit more as well. And he's more tenacious. He runs around the tracks, and that tenacious is what you get. Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, they can lead and jump on that, and then Xhaka and Partey can squeeze right in. So you allow his infectiousness is just, you can see it already. It's been years. So I have to give him credit for that, because like I said, you go back to my first one with Sané, I said I wasn't really a fan. But what I've been watching him in pre-season was how quickly he's adapted, and how our press is much better now, even with him in it. Obviously, he's still going to be judged on how many goals he scores. And obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. We want strikers to be scoring goals. So that is where he didn't score today, or last night, sorry. But a phenomenal performance. I'll definitely give him. So he's high up in the rankings. I haven't thought about doing player ratings and stuff like that. But he was definitely, you couldn't say he wasn't an 8. Definitely an 8 at least. He was phenomenal. So good to him. But yeah, I was really happy the way we controlled the game. First half, again, didn't have much to do. I think Ramsey made that save from Evard from a set piece. later in that first half. But other than that, nothing really was done. Only disappointments that no Martinelli did score in the end, but he had that chance prior when Jesus did skip past him through plays and the ball kind of fell to him and he didn't score it. He should, Martinelli knows him to step up now. We know his potential, we know his talent, but now he needs to start showing everyone properly over a consistent period of time what player he will become. But all the ingredients are there. So yeah, it's time for him to do his thing. But he scored in the end. He made up 1-0 going into half time, and then the second half. It was going to be difficult. The fans were going to get up. Palace were going to definitely couldn't play any worse, and they're going to get up. And they started getting more balls in the box. They started just causing issues. Zaha came into the game a bit more, and he just started to, to be fair. I mean, I say Ben had an okay game, but Saka definitely helped him, especially in the first half. Saka did tremendously well to get back and defend right. But second half, I mean, for me, and obviously it was the Sky Sports man of the match, William Saliba. I mean, I've been screaming about this guy for 3 years now, since he's been at the club. When Enrique first signed him, I looked at him like on YouTube, like most of everyone did, and that's what this plays up guy. And at that time, they were talking about the new Varane, and I thought I could see why, because if you remember Varane when he was young, not this Varane version that's at United, that guy is for me a broken version. The Varane that was first out in France, I can see the comparison. My sign of a good centre back is one that you don't see on the floor too much. Now I know people can say, but he was on the floor tonight. That's only because he had to cover Ben White. When he was holding his own centre back positions, when he wasn't have to go out wide to support White, you never saw him on the floor. He's comfortable. Him and Gabriel's partnership look like they've been there for 5 years. All right. There's no panic. It looks easy, and that's what centre backs do. That's what the top centre backs make the game look very easy. They're never in. You never see them in tussles with players. They just easing players out the way. They're never like shirt pulling. No, it's just easing. He just puts his form and you just know. He's almost like he just eases you into the way he wants to go, and you just know to go there. You're not fighting back. That's what top centre backs do. And he got that effortless look game where he's fast, he's strong, and he just reads the game really well. And he's only 21. He's only gonna get better. Centre backs don't normally start priming until 25 and above. So like most players, outfield players. So you just to think what this boy is gonna turn into. As long as he stays fit, it's a new league. You know what I mean? So it's different to what he's done in France. But trust me, this boy stays fit. He doesn't budge out that team. So Ben White, you're gonna have to hope that Tomiyasu stays injured, so he can get that right side. Personally, I want Tomiyasu back out there because Tomiyasu is better in one-on-ones. He's quicker than White, and he just reads the game better. Even though White can play there, White for me is not a right back. You can just see it. But Tomiyasu for me, natural right back, needs to be back out on that right hand side. But when he's fit and ready, not just like I think Arteta was talking prior to the game about Tierney and Tomiyasu, players that they kind of had to rush back last season because they didn't have options in there and they wanted to get them back quickly. Well, now we do have options. You don't need to rush them as much. So to get them back to their best, because them two definitely slot right back in to those positions for me. I mean, Zinchenko will challenge more Tierney, but Tomiyasu's that side is his. Nobody ain't touching that. For me, in my opinion, and I think probably everyone's opinion. So, yeah. But the performance again, and then Saka right at the end, wonderful ball, and then an own goal from Hay. He's gay, but it was a fast fizzing ball, and he just ended up flicking it with his head 2-0. Rightly deserved. It was it wasn't a comfortable game, but we definitely won the battle physically. Is something that's always labelled against Arsenal we're too easy to we can get rolled over. The word I'm looking for is not coming to my head yet, but we definitely look more powerful. If you look at the spine of our team, obviously Ramsdale, then you look at Saliba, Gabriel, then you look at Partey, Xhaka. Now, look, I know Xhaka's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm just talking about from a physicality point of view. That's you won't get much stronger, and then Jesus at the top. So it's very physical right through the middle of that team, and then even like the likes of when you got Ben White out there that's 6 foot plus. Zinchenko, he does really well coming in centre. When you think about the physicality through the middle of that team is very strong. So we're not so you can't just walk through the Arsenal D no more. You know, in previous years you could, right? You could say it was spineless, you know, but now it's definitely it's definitely very, very solid in there. So we've got to keep players fit. That's the main thing for Arsenal this season, is keeping players fit to achieve our goals, getting in that top 4 again, and hopefully try and pick up one of these little trophies, even the Europa League, go all the way in that. So yeah, man, I was pleased, not getting carried away, but you know, it's a very good way to start the season. Now I can sit back and watch the rest of the teams this weekend, so I'm happy, man. Yeah, but yeah, man, Saliba. Yeah, I think Arteta now might have been played a master stroke genius. Might have played a genius master stroke. I don't know. I'm mixing the words. I've just finished work, man. Don't shoot me. By actually putting them out on loan last season, I wasn't happy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I looked at Holding, Mari. I know Mari went out on loan eventually, but I thought Saliba's not better than these lot. Come on, man. But you know, look what's happened now. Saliba's the real deal. I think people are gonna try and say he's the real deal. He just needs, the more time he plays on that pitch, the better he's going to get and the more confident. So I can't wait to see him next week against Leicester. You know, it'll be a slightly different game because we'll dominate a bit more. Away from home at Palace is one of the most hardest grounds to go. I don't think none of the big teams, apart from Chelsea, won there last season. So that shows you how tough it was. I know that's last season, but it just shows you what kind of, how solid Vieira's had them against, especially in the big games. So yeah, happy to get a win against them, and now we just move on to the Leicester. So yeah, well done, Gunners. Continue the good work, man. And yeah, man, we'll see next week how we land against Leicester. I have a funny feeling Tielemans won't be playing in that game, because I feel like there'll be some activity next week on that one. So yeah, hopefully we can trigger something off there, and hopefully we can get him in, because I feel like we cut 2 more signings. I feel I can definitely say I could even potentially talk about top 3. You know, so top 4, we're in the contention. I think we get 2 more with Garant. I think we'll definitely get top 4, potentially even push 3rd. But right now we're still challenging, and then that's a great start, because that puts pressure on everyone else now. There's still 37 games to go, a long way to go. So no one to get excited, but it's a good start. And the pre-season now meant something, because we play really well there, and we start the season really well as well. So well done, Gunners. Leave your comments in below what you really think. I probably will do this season. I'm just gonna do a Premier League roundup probably on Monday. So yeah, I'm a Gunner, all you know. But I will do a Premier League roundup come Monday and talk about everyone else and what other fans think about their clubs and stuff like that as well. So yeah, man, leave your thoughts in below. But in terms of Arsenal, what do you think, fans? What do you think? Do you think, like me, a couple more signings and we could even push 3rd? What do you think last night? But yeah, man. But yeah, be appreciated to hear what you got to say. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm out. I'll be back again very soon. Peace.